Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a look at the Grok Trade Daily Market Summary. This one's from May 15th, 2025.
Right, and it gives us a nice snapshot across the board: stocks, crypto, even precious metals.
Yeah, and it's interesting timing, too. It comes just after all that uncertainty around the tariffs. But the stock market seems to be, well, pushing higher.
Exactly. It feels like maybe some cautious optimism is returning, or at least that's what the numbers seem to suggest initially.
Okay, so let's get into those stock numbers. The S&P 500, that's SPY, it was up 0.5%. The Dow DIA did a bit better, up 0.7%. The NASDAQ QQQ, just a small gain, 0.1%.
Right, barely budged.
And the small caps, IWM, they were up 0.65%. And it means these indices are getting pretty close to their all-time highs again, recovering that ground lost during the tariff worries last month.
Which brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Is this momentum real? Can it keep going and break those highs?
Or is this maybe a peak? Are we getting close to a point where things might turn back down?
That's the million-dollar question for traders right now. And the Grok Trade report points out something to watch: the RSI.
Ah, the Relative Strength Index. Right. They mention it's getting up there on the daily chart, approaching overbought.
Exactly. For anyone newer, think of it like a momentum gauge from 0 to 100. Above 70 often suggests, maybe things have run up too fast.
It's not a crystal ball, obviously, but it's definitely a heads up. A reason to be cautious, maybe?
Precisely. Caution is the word. It signals potential vulnerability. Doesn't guarantee a drop, but you pay attention. Grok Trade also flags the weekly candlestick.
Right. How the week finishes could be telling. A strong close reinforces the bulls.
While a weak close might show sellers stepping in. So that weekly picture will be important context.
And all this market action, it's happening against the backdrop of the wider economy. The U.S. economy is still front and center, especially after that U.S.-China tariff truce.
Yeah, that truce definitely provided some relief. You saw the market react positively here, likely breathing a sigh of relief that things didn't escalate further immediately.
But it's temporary relief, right? That 90-day pause.
Absolutely. Sentiment improves for a bit, but now eyes turn to the hard data. Grok Trade mentions CPI and PPI coming up.
Inflation numbers, always key. They'll tell us a lot about underlying pressures and, what the Fed might be thinking.
Exactly. So the tariff pause bought some time, improved the mood, but the fundamental economic picture, especially inflation, that's what will likely drive the next major phase.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about crypto and metals? Bitcoin, DTC? The report says it was pretty flat on the 15th.
Yeah, not much movement there. But Grok Trade notes it looks like it's consolidating, maybe forming an early bull flag pattern.
A bull flag? So like a pause in an uptrend that might signal another move higher is coming?
Potentially, yes. It's like the market catching its breath. If Bitcoin breaks out above the top of that flag pattern, that could trigger more buying, something traders are definitely watching.
Interesting. While Bitcoin was quiet, precious metals weren't. Gold, GLD, was up a healthy 1.6%.
And silver, SLV, up 1.23%. Silver's chart looks quite interesting, according to the report.
How so?
Well, it's also in a consolidation, maybe a bull flag, but it's happening inside a bigger pattern, an ascending triangle. And there's key resistance near $32.
Multiple bullish patterns converging near resistance. Sounds like it could be setting up for a significant move if it breaks that $32 level.
It certainly looks that way. You often see metals gain when there's underlying uncertainty, even if stocks are up. Maybe hedging bets.
Makes sense. The report also gives a quick mention to the Grok Trade Mentorship program.
Right. As a resource for folks trying to navigate all this. Personalized coaching, experienced traders, focusing on strategies.
Yeah, it could be useful for people wanting more hands-on guidance, especially when the market's at a tricky spot like this.
Definitely. Having that kind of support and structured learning can make a big difference.
Okay, so wrapping up our snapshot of May 15th, 2025, U.S. stocks edged higher, continuing their recovery but bumping up against potential resistance.
Bitcoin was consolidating, maybe hinting at more upside, and precious metals, gold, and especially silver showed some real strength.
So the market seems kind of balanced on a knife's edge here, post-tariff relief rally, but with technical warnings and key economic data looming.
Exactly. Which leads to the final thought for you listening. As we stand at this potential crossroads, what are the key signals you'll be watching? How do you see these different assets, stocks, crypto, metals reacting if we push higher, or if we see that bearish reversal start to take hold? That's the puzzle.